Welcome to Unit 1 in our New Mexico history course. In this unit, you will complete work that will introduce you to our course as well as to the discipline of history. We'll be thinking about questions like how do we study the past, how do we know what we know, what kinds of sources are available to us as we study history, and so on. Additionally, you'll just get up to speed in terms of navigating the course, understanding the syllabus, creating an avatar in Blackboard if you don't already have one, and getting started with Twitter. There is no timeline assignment for Unit 1, but you will be directed to look over that assignment and understand tikitalki.com, where we will be building our course timeline in preparation for Unit 2. So I just want to make sure everybody's able to hit the ground running with that. This unit does last for 2 weeks, so you have 2 weeks to complete the introductory assignments. There are 2 separate due dates, however. So by the first Sunday of this unit, which is the 20th, you need to have completed your introduction to the class on Blackboard, in the discussion board, and also your email assignment. So the email assignment is that step that asks you a bunch of questions. It's essentially a syllabus quiz that you email to me. The second week will give you time to read a few materials and watch a couple of videos that deal with how we define history, what it is, how we study the past, what some of the complexities of studying history are, as well as thinking about the notion of historical thinking. So historical thinking is a process and a method by which historians work. It is the habits of mind, the things that we do in order to understand the past and to recognize that there are always many different perspectives on past events and that we need to take those into account as we attempt to address questions about the past. It also helps us think about things like historical context, understanding that the past, as one person has said, was a foreign or is a foreign country. It's a place where people did things differently than we do now, even if they lived in the same place we do. It's also about realizing that our notions of history change over time, that there are reasons for history to be rewritten, and that we need to be conscious of those and think about when history is being rewritten for academic value, for adding new insights and new perspectives to our understanding, versus sometimes when history is used as sort of a political bludgeon. Unfortunately, that happens all too often. Not just political, but social, economic, by those in power, to tell a story of the past that helps to fit the narrative of what they want the present to be. So again, that's something to keep in mind. History is not objective. We try to maintain as much objectivity as we can. We try to include as many perspectives on the past as we can based on the sources that we have. The history can be a powerful way for understanding others' ways of viewing the world, putting ourselves in others' shoes, for learning empathy, and also for helping to recover the stories of those who were powerless in the past. That can be tricky, though, because the sources of people who were not in power, who were on the losing side of wars, those kinds of things, can be difficult to see in the historical record. So I won't ramble, I won't belabor that point, but those are all of the kinds of things that we'll be thinking about in this first unit to prepare us for studying New Mexico's past over the rest of the semester. During the second week, then, you will grapple with sources, readings, and videos that deal with everything that I've just brought up and more, and you will complete a What is History exercise on the discussion board. You will also post some introductory tweets, so you'll get started on Twitter and you'll post about the distinction between primary and secondary sources, and you will also post some examples of each. And there are instructions about that in this module and examples of what that should look like as well. So please don't hesitate to ask questions when you have them, and I look forward to delving into Unit 1.